Star Report. I'm your host, Star. Welcome to the show. Tuesday afternoon, early research edition. Okay. Kevin Hart extended an olive branch to squash his, I think, 23 or 24-year feud with Katt Williams. Brand new Netflix special, The Roast of Kevin Hart. First episode was May the 10th. I only saw some of the clips. I do not have a Netflix. I cancel that nonsense. But I do want to play some footage and talk to you guys about this. I thought this was a great thing. A great thing. Years and decades of tension. Finally, they have been together, correct me if I'm wrong, for the first time in over 20 years in the same room. Was this some sucker shit on the part of Kevin Hart? Because later on, he said, fuck Katt Williams. Did he play him out? Did he pull his card? Well, I have not seen any clap back from Katt Williams since, but I was thoroughly entertained. But I like to see older guys, squash any issues and just move forward, All right, guys, live chat. My show producer, Deeds, is letting you rock today. I was going to do members only, and she said, nah, let the trolls live, but I'm going to keep an eye on broke niggas. I don't control the live chat, so you're on your own. Deeds is watching the show, okay? All right, let me first say salute to Timestamp Tiffany. Look what Tiffany sent me. Whoa! Baltimore, yo, moving like this now? Is this the new colors in B-More? New era? Nice. Okay. We'll get to that, all right? All right, guys, we've got a power-packed show here that I want to talk to you all about. Aside from Kevin Hart and Katt Williams, showrunner, I need you to be honest and real. Was your father a YN? Now, YN is slang for young nigga. A lot of us don't like that term, but the last couple of days I've been on somewhat of a vacation, just enjoying my life. I'm 62, I always pause for the cause and decompress. I went out on the boat, I rent boats where I live. I live in Emerald Isle, North Carolina. And then when I came back, I started going through a lot of things with regards to my family tree. I work on the family tree like many of you. Yes, put a one in the live chat if you work on your family tree. All sorts of documentation, things that you want your offspring or next of kin to be aware of. Yes, who works on a family tree? Now, some things I knew about my father. I've spoken about him on many, many occasions. He was in the U.S. Navy. I have his honorable discharge and other things, and he spent over 10 years in the Naval Reserves. But then I came across some things with regards to him being arrested, court-martialed, destruction of government property. They took some of his pay, $25 per month for 6 months. Put him in jail, 5 days of bread and water. See, I've got everything right here. I'm not going to show you all the details, but I got it right here. And then I found something where he was arrested for, catch this, arrested by the civil police on a 2nd Street in Richmond, Virginia, cursing at the police, using language as goddamn, son of a bitch, and fuck. 30 days in jail. Was your father a YN? Let's keep it real today. Now, I've told you before, and I'm going to go back a little bit later, about how my father wound up in the U.S. Navy at 14. My father's gone now. A law enforcement officer was killed in Durham, and then my father joined the Navy. Who does that? A YN. Who would join, and I have the ship and everything that he was on, who would join the Navy in the middle of World War II to get away from where you were born and raised? Talk about it later, okay? All right, also, this afternoon, guys, we've got to talk about some different things. Some of the older stories that we have touched on, I want to bring you guys up to speed. The State Department is revoking passports for parents, not just fathers, parents who owe as little as $2,500. All right, so we've got some talking to do. You guys okay in the live chat? Thank you for your concern. Some of you have been sending me emails. I don't check Instagram DMs. Please don't DM me. And I don't do Twitter, formerly known, or X, formerly known as Twitter. I don't check those DMs. I do emails. Thank you for your emails, your support. I'm fine. I just, from time to time, I like to power down and just, enjoy life. But today I have some coffee, some sliced bananas. I've got 2 beers for later. Hey, salute to whoever sent me the, well, I shouldn't say salute. Who sent me the video of Jim Jones eating a banana? That was crazy. Please don't send me nothing like that again. Yeah, JJ eating a banana somewhere. I may or may not play that video a little bit later, okay? Thank you for your early support. Guys, I do not wear my contacts, so if there's something on the screen that is urgent, please email me. I think that is Celebrity Shug. Hey, is that the homie Shug? Shug, if that's who I think is, holla at me, homie. Good to hear from you. If that's a Shug. Good to hear from you, sir. You've got my email address. Okay. Who is this right here? Thank you. Okay. Project Aries. Thank you so much. I'm going to put some of these on the screen here. Guys, this is an early research edition. We do not put anything on the screen less than $5. If you're broke, this ain't the place for you, respectfully, okay? This ain't the place for you. And okay. Kid, okay. My dad was known as a shooter and drug. Okay. His boy set him up and, oh, wow, condolences. But this dude had about 5, okay, BM. Okay. Yeah, we're going to talk about, some things that I found about my father because, again, not just the family tree, but my own lineage that I'm leaving to my estate and so on and so forth. It's very, very important, okay? All right, let's get down to business here. First video that I want to play because we are going to play some videos for context with regards to the stories that I'm about to show you, okay? Let's go to my show notes. First video, Kevin Hart, of course, and Katt Williams. Guys, do you believe that this is or did Kevin Hart bait Katt Williams? Let's go back and give some context, shall we? This was clips, not just from the Netflix special, but some more context for those who don't know about the ongoing beef over the decades. Here we go.
Brother, I want to be a friend. Kat, I want to move on. Can we move on, man? Can we move on?
The 2 shortest men in comedy, Kevin Hart and Katt Williams, shook hands and hugged it out on stage as they publicly squashed their 25-year-long beef.
Kevin Hart done went 25 years without ever being in the same building with me at the same time. If I go in the building, he walk out. You've never seen us in the same building ever in 25 years.
My frustration with Katt Williams comes from you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions?
The long-standing tension began in 2014 with Williams criticizing Hart and escalated through podcast jabs where Katt labeled him an industry plant and a puppet.
What do you think a plant is? In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show.
At one point, Katt Williams even challenged Kevin Hart to a comedy face-off with $5 million on the line.
You do it for real. Here it is, Kevin. I got a show at your hometown in Philly. I'm going to take my special there. On that stage, we can put whatever you want. A full-court basketball court, a boxing ring, 2 microphones for a rap cipher, or you can get your ass dusted in comedy on that stage. But it's $1 million up for each one. That's $5 million, Mr. 28 million in Forbes. I'll be bringing mine in cash. Mitch, bring yours however you want. And since you're not a puppet, don't bring no white people with you then. That's a $5 million bet individually. You can take it all, or you can take it part and parcel.
Netflix streamed the roast of Kevin Hart live on Sunday, May 10th, 2026 in Los Angeles. This was Netflix's second big live roast after the Tom Brady one in 2025, and Kevin's friends, including The Rock and Regina Hall, were there to roast him. But everyone was surprised when comedian Katt Williams stepped on the stage to roast Kevin Hart.
I'm surprised they invited me. That's how little star power you have. They had to start inviting your enemies. I said, I hate him. They said, come anyway.
Despite the brutal roasting of each other for showbiz, the two comedians ended up squashing a long-standing feud.
Quite the fucking surprise, but Kat, I can sit, I can watch you, I can laugh, because I'm a fucking fan first, okay? I'm a fan first.
Besides Netflix, there is one man to thank for all this, and that man is Dave Chappelle. While the world picked sides over Kevin and Katt's beef, the GOAT stepped in. Dave Chappelle didn't take the bait. Instead, he did something only Dave could do. He held up a mirror.
Def Comedy Jam 25. It's good to see so many funny people together in one room, all wondering the same thing. Is Katt Williams gonna show up? Shit, I'm nervous as hell right now. Oh, he's right there. There he is.
Let me just jump in here for a second. Guys, if there's anything that we really need to put on the table, please email me. This has been an ongoing feud for many, many, many years. I've never met Katt Williams. I was never formally introduced to Kevin Hart, but he was on that the set of that film. Me and Buck, while we're on Paper Soldiers, salute to Dame Dash. I still get a check from Paper Soldiers, even though they took my part out.
You know, he was right there. I would not have said that if I had said that. Yeah. Not used to quiet, introspective Katt Williams.
In a video taped at a comedy club alongside comedian DeRay Davis, Chappelle said, "Katt, you're a genius, but why are you drawing ugly pictures of us? We're all we got. Stop hurting your brothers to prove a point."
Listen, I f***ing Katt hard. Wait, D-Ray, just tell me what part of the game fucks up another nigga's paper. Tiffany Haddish is lifting something heavy, and as clumsy as she is, why would you say that? Because all of us are trying to be in a better situation. And hurt people, but I'm a hurt person. They never hurt people.
Chappelle would also criticize Katt for always calling out other entertainers and comedians, but acting like he's never done anything wrong.
He does it all the time. This one and that one and this one. But nigga, I didn't hear anything that you did wrong. Katt was talking about shit that niggas did to other niggas, but not about anything that niggas did to him.
Chappelle's public big brother moment changed the energy and made Kevin and Katt have a change of heart. He reframed the beef, not as a fight for a throne, but as a hurt person hurting other people. He began working behind the scenes, reminding both men that their collective legacy was bigger than a podcast clip.
Okay. Early research edition. If you're calling, please watch the language. Okay. I'm going to get to that showrunner in a second as well. U.S. to revoke passports for child support. Guys, combing through some more of my father's papers with regards to the U.S. Navy. He was released from jail and then restored to duty on 6 months probation. So there's things here that I want to share with you because I want you to be honest. Was your father a YN? Recalled to active duty in 1948 in connection with 2 weeks training. Okay, so even though he was doing the most, here's something else here that says Terrain was accused of saying "goddamn fuck the police" with a cane he was carrying. Was your father a YN? One more clip with regards to Kevin Hart and Katt Williams. I found this to be very, very entertaining. And again, for those who saw the Netflix special, I did not. But this is Kevin Hart where he says, when he gets to the stage at the roast and he claps back at people.
Tom, this is live television. To put our fucking beef behind us, I am offering you an olive branch of peace. I want to be a brother. I want to be a friend. Kat, I want to move on. Can we move on, man? Can we move on? Katt Williams, one time, ladies and gentlemen. Katt fucking Williams. Everybody has said tonight that I can't act. Kevin cannot act. What I want you to do is go back and look at that moment where I shook Katt's hand, and I looked him in the eye, and I said, I just want us to be friends. Some of the best fucking acting that I've ever did in my career. I did not mean one word of what I said. Fuck Katt Williams. Fuck Katt Williams.
What do you think? Phone lines are open right now. Let me remove that. Phone lines open. I guess maybe I should play for context. There's a video. I don't know the year, though. Have you guys ever seen, there's a video that was making its rounds years ago, a supposed, early YN named Howard. Some stories are saying this was from the 50s. Some are saying this was from the 60s. If you're from the South, more than likely your grandfather or someone in your family tree was the type of rambunctious, revolting type of, Negro like my father. Everybody wasn't scared of the police and scared of white folk. That's a myth, okay? But let me play this video here for context.
Your own people here knows you and chased you, Howard.
Ain't nobody chase me, nigga. You crazy. Okay. Fool. Hey, put my jacket on me, man. It's cold out here. I get that favor?
Do what?
Can I get a favor?
You got it. You got it on.
Stupid ass. Say, man, I'm killing you when I get out. You and your little punk brothers and that nigga there. And you don't believe you don't believe that I do something to your ass little sissy ass cousin or brother, whatever you. He ain't nothing but a punk.
Was that St. Louis or Chicago? You see, there's many conflicting stories. Was this St. Louis or Chicago? Different reports say 1958. Some say 1968. This is Howard, the original YN, on video, to my knowledge.
Yourself. You run into my car, you can stop and talk to me, man. Hey, that's right, nigga. I got your handcuffs on, too. I'm not talking to you, baby. What are you saying about it? Bitch raised mother.
In my car, I'd have shot you.
Hit it, right? Your own people here knows you and chased you, Howard.
How? One more time. Does anybody know the exact year?
Your own people here knows you and chased you, Howard.
Ain't nobody chase me, nigga. You crazy. Okay. Fool. Hey, put my jacket on me, man. It's cold out here. I get that favor?
Do what?
Can I get a favor?
You got it. You got it on.
Stupid ass. Say, man, I'm killing you when I get out. You and your little punk brothers and that nigga there. And you don't believe you don't crazy.
Yeah. Okay. It looks like 1969 due to the way that they wore the headscarves, tied in the front, because more than likely up under the headscarf, he had some type of conch. A conch, where you have your hair fried, dyed, and laid to the side. So my guess would be 69. But let me finish up.
Fool. Hey, put my jacket on me, man. It's cold out here. I get that favor?
Do what?
Can I get a favor?
You got it. You got it on.
Stupid ass. Say, man, I'm killing you when I get out. You and your little punk brothers and that nigga there. And you don't believe you don't believe that I do something to your ass little sissy ass cousin or brother, whatever you. He ain't nothing but a punk himself. You run into my car, you can stop and talk to me, man. Hey, that's right, nigga. I got your handcuffs on, too. I'm not talking to you, baby. What are you saying about it? Bitch raised mother.
In my car, I'd have shot you.
You said bitch raised, motherfucker. Okay, someone says perm. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. The perm came after the conch. You see, I forget the time period, but, Duke Ellington and the rest of those guys, Cab Calloway, they had conchs in their hair, Heidi, 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 hey. I forget that line, but thank you for your comments, all right? Okay. Now, let me get to some of my videos here with regards to my research show here today. The hell's my pen? Okay. All right. Okay. Someone says, I'm right. Okay. Well, I just, this is a research show, so I'm not a know-it-all. What is that? The conch, a popular hairstyle for African-American men from 1920s to the 60s, was made using a chemical relaxer that was initially homemade and included Yeah. The perm came later. I don't know for certain. Any beautiful black women in that live chat? The perm, correct me if I'm wrong, came about when black mothers or grandmothers or aunties were using the hot comb right in the kitchen. Is that how you guys did? Is that how you guys did it? Phone lines are open. Don't be scared. Was your father a YN? I got time today. Matter of fact, let me crack my first beer. It's early. Was your father a YN, huh? There's a reason why my father would not open the door. Somebody knock on the door, he would say, "What you want?" Never. Me and my brother could not touch the front door. "What you want?" I guess he thought it was law enforcement catching up. I don't know. All right. Hunter virus. So what's going on with the virus? Is this fake news? Let's get down to business here. Hold on a second, guys. This is the most recent clip I could find. Please bear with me, okay? Hunter virus. Latest update.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Tuesday. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. Stayed up late to watch American Idol. Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to have much more from American Idol. We're going to also have those NBA matchups and Boomer's big save just ahead.
Yeah. Also this morning, tariff refunds starting to go out for businesses after the Supreme Court struck down President Trump's signature economic policy earlier this year. We're going to tell you what those refunds could mean for you.
But first, we're going to begin with the hantavirus outbreak. The cruise ship set sail yesterday from the Canary Islands after evacuating passengers and crew from 23 countries. 18 people are now being monitored at medical facilities in Georgia and Nebraska. Victor Akindo is in Omaha with the latest. Good morning to you, Victor.
Good morning, Robin, from the University of Nebraska Medical Center outside of the quarantine unit, where 16 American passengers are being closely watched over the next few days. This, as we learn of additional Americans being monitored, they were on the same flight as an infected passenger.
This morning, health officials monitoring those Americans who returned home following that deadly hantavirus outbreak on board a cruise ship. The first American to test positive being treated inside the biocontainment unit at the University of Nebraska Medical Center. 15 others are being evaluated for symptoms in the quarantine unit here. Once released, they will be allowed to monitor their symptoms at home or remain here for the 42-day quarantine period.
So the 15 who are in quarantine right now, what is life like for them?
So they have their independent private rooms, kind of like a hotel room, with the exception of they can't have visitors. And then they have a healthcare team that does come in and check with them.
2 other Americans, a couple, flown to Emory University in Atlanta after one of them showed symptoms. So far, 11 cases reported worldwide. 3 have died. Maryland is monitoring 2 residents who were on a flight with a cruise ship passenger who later tested positive. Now, growing concerns the Andes virus may spread easier than previously thought, though evidence remains preliminary.
Stop right there. Is Bill Gates in any way, shape, or form connected to the vaccinations, the so-called cure for hantavirus? Is there a cure? I don't know. Phone lines are open. I got time this afternoon. Thank you for your comment, Miko.
We're just seeing emerging evidence, for instance, in conversations that several colleagues had with the doctor on the ship, who said that at least 3 of the people who got infected did not have close contact, and they may have had just casual contact sitting next to somebody for half an hour at a meal.
Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. maintains the government has the proper protocols in place.
We have this under control, and we're not worried about it.
Shayna Montill is one of the few Americans to have experienced the virus.
The abdominal pain, I remember that hurting bad to the point where I was just having to throw up because it hurt so bad.
Contracting it when she was just 5 years old in 1993 during the Four Corners outbreak, the biggest hantavirus outbreak to date in the U.S.
My mom, she was very panicked, very worried, very stressed. There was just a lot of unknown answers, and knowing what I went through and how awful it was, like I would not wish that upon anybody.
Once cleared to quarantine at home, health officials here stressed they would be escorted the entire way. We will not see them on commercial flights. Guys?
All right, Victor, thank you. You know, the hantavirus is the most searched topic in the U.S. And here to answer some of your questions is ABC News medical correspondent Dr. Darian Sutton, an emergency.
Okay, I'm going to bypass Michael Strahan. He's got that swollen tongue thing, and I can't listen to him for too long. Digital Technology Union, if I'm saying that right. Yes, Bill Gates works with the World Health Organization, okay? They create all these viruses. I'm not sure of that, but guys, doesn't Bill Gates own the most farmland in America? Not the most land, but the most farmland. I remember we touched on that or something a year or two ago. Hang on, I got a text from my show producer. Hey, Deeds. Deeds says, with regards to the conversation a few minutes ago, it's called a relaxer. A perm gives you curls. A relaxer straightens the hair. Okay, I stand corrected. I didn't grow up in that type of household. Thank you, Deeds. Okay, we got a random comment. I like random comments, even though you didn't send it a donation. I'll give you a little burn. Hi, Miriam. Thank you for your early donation. She says, "Star, you are a true rat." Talking about your father, shaking my head. Well, listen, he's dead. He's dead. But, you know, for the sake of the family tree, my family tree, I have to be accurate with the details. My father spent a lot of time in Richmond, Virginia, and other places. But I want to hear from you guys. Was your father a YN? Was your mother ratchet? Respectfully. Was your mother ratchet? I mean, we all didn't grow up like, you know, under a system of class and high etiquette. No. I spent 7 summers on Martha's Vineyard from the early 70s up until the late 70s. But, you know, I come from a cloth where a man, you know, was very, very aggressive towards white people. Hold on a second. Hi, Vera. Okay, what's going on here? No, I don't know about that story, dear. Feel free to call in. Hantavirus. Yes, no? Now, guys, we're gonna keep going past iShow Speed. I know he's beefing with somebody in the Dominican Republic, one of the top content creators. That guy paid some people to destroy the iShow Speed mural. Yes, no? It's a whole big quagmire. We're kind of past that, okay? Okay. Glizzy Hendricks, I see he says iShow Bussy. Okay. Random comments early in the afternoon. Let me move on to my next. Oh, I've got so much to talk about here. So much to talk about. But let me talk about play the video, pardon me, first with regards to the passports. Thank God I don't have biological children. I mean, this is crazy. Could you imagine owing $2,500 in child support? You get to the airport thinking you're going down to Dubai or the Bahamas, and they put the steel bracelets on you. What the fuck? My question to you is this for females also who owe child support? This came out 3 days ago. Please pay attention. Here we go.
Okay, the State Department has announced they will begin revoking the passports of parents who owe child support money.
A State Department official said in a statement, quote, "We are expanding a common sense practice that's been proven effective at getting those who owe child support to pay their debt. Under President Trump and Secretary Rubio's leadership, we're working across agency lines to ensure American children receive the support they need and deserve. Once parents resolve their debts, they can once again enjoy the privilege of a U.S. passport. Under a federal law set in 1996, parents who owe more than $2,500 in unpaid child support are subject to having their passport revoked."
Now, the State Department told the AP that this latest initiative will focus on those who owe $100,000 or more, but that the initiative will soon be expanded to those who owe more than $2,500.
Do it. I'm here for it. I'm 100% here for it. You owe money for your children and you're not paying child support. One, you're probably a scumbag. And two, you shouldn't be traveling abroad. You don't have the means. If you can't be paying for your kids, you should not be going to Cancun. You should be making sure that your kids have what they need to go to school. I am all for this. Absolutely. I say expand it to the $2,500. I know they got to roll it out and ramp it up and make sure.
Damn, she's talking about you. You're probably a scumbag. Anybody want to comment? Cancun, is that some type of racial undertone? Of course it is.
Sure it goes. But if you're not paying your child support, that means your kids are missing out on something. And don't get me wrong. If you need to go to court and you need to adjudicate it to have your monthly amounts changed because of financial hardship, there are means to do that. And make sure that this is not used as retaliatory or inappropriately used against a parent who maybe is in a financial hardship. But I can tell you, you don't pay your child support and you owe somebody child support, you scumbag. You scumbag and you don't deserve to travel.
Listen, there's not going to be a lot of pushback, I don't think, from most people to think that somebody is chilling in the Maldives and also not, paying for their kids. So that's obviously, going to be going without saying that most people would support this, especially when you talk about that $100,000 threshold. Like how long and how.
Stop right there. What'd you think? Let me look in the live chat. Come on. Yo, somebody said, R.I.P. DJ Khaled. Guys, I saw Khaled lost 75 pounds. Is he on Ozempic? Deeds, do we have a video? Not that you have to do a whole lot right now. Deeds is busy. Do we have I saw DJ Khaled 75 pounds lighter. Is he on Ozempic? Let's take our time here this afternoon. Area code 323. Good afternoon. Please watch the language. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Hey.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Hey, Star. Trump was talking like he wanted to get everybody out of Gaza. I voted for Trump.
So did I.
I think it's beautiful watching those kids break dance and stuff like that. It's a beautiful thing. We got to get those kids out of there. All free all those people, man.
Well, take it easy, sir. Can we just? I mean, they're dancing through trauma. They're not twerking. Children are innocent. Yes, come on.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. But Trump is, I think he's going to free those people. I think he's going to liberate Cuba too. I feel that way.
I think Cuba's a totally different story. But now, with regards to the breakdancing, it just shows the power and the influence of FBA. Yes, are you foundational Black American? Not that you have to be. I'm just asking.
Yes, I am. Yeah, hip hop is global. So seeing these kids breakdancing, that's a beautiful thing.
Well, hip hop is dead technically, but the original breakdancers were Black. Are you familiar with Crazy Legs?
Yes, I am.
Crazy Legs called into my show roughly 3 or 4 years ago, and he said, yes, the original breakdancers were Black, and he said that they used to call it the Moreno style. So I just want to make sure.
Yeah, hey, you did an excellent job with the whole black and what was it? A lot of the Latinos and Jamaicans were lying about what was going on. You did an excellent job. You educated me a lot. You and Tyreek Nasir. Y'all did it.
Salute to King Flex. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I watched all those videos. Did a great job, man. I'm gonna send in a donation, man. Thanks, Star.
Thank you, sir. Salute. Great call. Well, all right. Phone lines are open. I got time today. Was your father a YN? There's a reason why my father was the way he was, and it kind of makes sense. He was just rambunctious, and I've got the paperwork. I'm going to have to bring out some more things a little bit later, but let's get the conversation going. Area code 646, good afternoon. Please watch the language. Are you there?
What up? Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Yeah, good. I just want to touch on your topics. Lightly start with the Kevin Hart and Katt Williams thing.
Yeah.
I think Kev definitely didn't want no smoke, and he said, you know what, we're not only going to invite Katt, but we're going to cut the check and make sure that we bury this, put this behind us. So I just think that Kev wanted to get rid of that situation immediately. So I think he lost some followers and some fans behind that situation.
I appreciate this call. Can I ask, how old are you?
42.
Okay. You would know better than me because today's generation, they're looking to profit from everything. If I had to guess, I could be wrong. Kevin Hart wants to cash in on the one-time drama. He may have a script that someone submitted to him and do a film with Katt Williams, kind of like Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, Abbott and Costello. That would be huge. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what Dave Chappelle was getting at by him saying, like, it's bigger than y'all just going at each other on podcasts or whatever. Like, we need to make history, like how, like, for example, what Richard Pryor and them did with the Harlem Nights movie. You had Red Fox, Eddie Murphy, Charlie Murphy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, Robert Williams, God bless the dead. You know what I mean? So definitely, I think it's bigger than that. I think it's definitely about the check. I think we're gonna see something come from this.
Let me ask you a question. Does Kevin Hart have a Netflix deal?
I don't know if he got a Netflix deal, but I mean, the fact that he could come on, I guess, you know what I'm saying, when he won. Kevin was a household name for a few years. So I don't see it being difficult for him to holler at Netflix and say, you know what, let me and Katt do this, make this situation happen, and it's going to be a win-win because everybody's going to come out for that. Everybody's going to show up for that party.
I would be curious to know, let me look in the live chat. Troll Babies, does Kevin Hart have a Netflix deal? Because they just gave Ben Affleck, was it $500 million for some type of company or some type of production thing or something? I'm just curious. I think we may see, and listen, I would go to the movie theater to see it. Kevin Hart and Katt Williams in a goddamn movie. You have the final word, unless you want to touch on some of the other topics. Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. My pops was definitely a YN, man. My pops is a country boy. You know what I'm saying? He came up to New York. You know what I'm saying? He had a whole family. My pops was about 30. He had me. He already had 3 kids already from a whole nother family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, real nigga shit.
So
real nigga shit.
You know what I mean? And then my mom's, you know what I'm saying? She already had 2 kids by 2 different guys already. You know what I mean?
Bless her heart.
So she basically wiped them up. You know, she wiped them up. You know what I mean? So a good country dude.
Was your father from the South?
Yeah, he's definitely from North Carolina.
Okay. Let me just say this. Going back decades, the best pimps came from the South. The best dice shooters came. My father used to shoot dice in Newark, New Jersey all the time. So, it's just, and I'm not trying to clown the memory of anybody's fathers or grandfathers, but, there's certain things that we need to, if possible, understand about today's generation and the lineage that they may or may not come from. Go ahead.
Yeah, my pops had like 11 brothers, man. You know what I mean? They had a big family. They all came up to New York. You know what I mean? They all came up here, migrated, you know what I'm saying, trying to get from down there. Some of them we treated and went back, you know what I mean? But it was definitely a different time, you know what I'm saying, for them coming up. The other thing I wanted to touch on, which I was just talking about, the child support thing with the passport.
Talk to me. I have no information on that. Come on.
This is the thing, bro. It's bigger than a passport. The homies ain't had passports in years. They would take your driver's license. Forget having a passport.
Okay.
You owe $1,000. Your driver's license, your car registration is out of here. So I don't know them ladies. I don't know if they just getting on child support. They don't know what's going on. But the homie's been out here suffering for years with that child support, man. Your baby mother get mad at you, take you downtown. It's over, man. Cheaper to keep her, as they say. It's the old country homies. Just cheaper to keep her.
I do know that in Philly, going back a decade or more, possibly, they would put a boot on your tire if you owe child support. You ever heard of that? Putting a boot on your tire.
Nah, I never heard of the boot, but for sure, my license was suspended for years. I've been running around here ducking and diving, my head on the swivel, playing with these people. You know what I mean? With that driver's license, people thinking it's a game, but everybody fall on hardship sometimes, get behind in bills or whatever. You know what I mean? Right. Especially in New York City. You know what I mean? And in New York, they hitting you early in the game. Maybe $400, $500, $1,000. You know you got problems. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I appreciate the call, man.
So,
salute. Thank you.
Have a good afternoon. I'm gonna send something in.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Going over my notes here, guys. Sit tight in the phone queue. That's my email address on the screen. I want you to join the conversation when I do these research shows, okay? I mean, I can sit here and ramble by myself, but, just... Area code 720. Good afternoon. Please watch the language. Are you there? 720?
Stars, Charlie Brown, man.
Hey.
Thanks for taking my call. I really appreciate you.
How are you, man? What's cracking, Charlie?
Doing well. Hey, I appreciate the show. I'm going to jump right into it. Pause. But what I'm saying is, I saw that interaction with Kevin Hart and I saw with Katt Williams, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think Kevin Hart kissed the ring. That's the only way.
Come on.
And then Katt Williams said, "You better let me go on stage. I'm gonna roast you. I'm gonna say everything I've been wanting to tell you, and you're gonna pay me to do it. Okay. And then we can talk about anything else." But he took some real jabs at Kevin Hart to the point to where your girl Regina King was looking. Some folks be looking awkward and uncomfortable. When some exchanging going on.
Miss Regina King with her sexy ass. Go ahead.
She's so fine. Yes, she is. She ain't aged a bit, but
yeah.
I saw her. She was adjusting in her seat like, I don't, you know how you do that with your family. Something jump off and you're like, oh, I hope it don't go there. But ultimately, I think Kevin Hart kissed the ring. That's what I think happened. He can't beat Katt Williams. Katt Williams has his own deals with Netflix. Okay. So he don't need Kevin Hart to get on Netflix. He's been had his own shows. He's been had, you know what I mean? He's been had his own series. He's been getting money with Netflix. He don't need Kevin Hart. Okay. That's why I said I think Kevin Hart kissed the ring.
Do you think that there was any physical concerns on Kevin Hart's part? Physical.
Absolutely. I think Katt Williams put hands on him. Hands and feet on him.
I'm so glad you said that because clearly you don't remember Katt Williams getting pummeled and damn near choked out by a little 15-year-old. You didn't see that, huh?
I did, but that 15-year-old was strong, and he's 15. You know what I mean? He ain't had no business.
Sir, stop. And let's not do the giggling thing. Slow down. No, sir. The 15-year-old was a little bird chest nigga. Threw Katt Williams down. Guys, what year did that happen? The little 15-year-old, 15 or 16, threw him down. Katt Williams had nothing for the little preteen. But go ahead.
So you think Kevin Hart will beat Katt Williams up? I don't think Kevin Hart's even tough like that. He don't even seem like he. I don't even take him.
I don't want to do the whole who could beat up who. That's a very immature conversation. I just don't think that Kevin Hart is really worried about Katt Williams, kicking up dust outside of saying something. So I enjoyed the two of them, embracing. That was a very warm moment. But I would like to see.
I call Cap.
Okay, that's fine. I'll let you land your plane. I want to see them do.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I want to see them do a movie together. You have the last word. Go ahead.
Yeah, I call Cap, man. I think when Kevin Hart's reaching out, I just want to extend the olive branch, and I just want to be your brother, and I love you, and I just want to. Nah, man. Nah. Okay. Nah.
Okay.
I'm calling Cap.
I appreciate it.
But have a great show, Star.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, man.
Thank you. Good.
All right.
Research in the afternoons. Star, did you see Tiffany Haddish? Well, I like Tiffany Haddish. No, I did not. So I don't have Netflix. Something with Tiffany Haddish face every time the camera. No, I did not see that, but thank you for your comment. I like Tiffany Haddish. Not that that means anything, but. Oh, is that the man who I need to speak to? Area code 440.
Что там, старее, как дела? What's poppin'?
Boris. Can you
I heard you mention the Lakers, and I thought I should call.
Well, hold on a second. Can you help me understand something? I'm an old man. I'm 62 now. I have never seen, unless this is a thing now, the entire coaching staff within under 3 minutes to play in the finals, the playoffs, leave courtside. Did you notice that? The Philadelphia 76ers coach and the staff and the other players left. Did you see that or no?
I have noticed that, yes. This is nothing new. Perhaps it might be for you, but I have seen, the NBA is so fake nowadays that when you win, you would like to shake the hands of your opponent. But when you lose, like LeBron James, you head straight to the tunnel. It is not a strange phenomenon. It happens in soccer too. The players, believe it or not, the players run the team because you have this diva generation now that if the superstar player is unhappy, he will have the coach fired. He will make it so that the coach is fired. You have no idea how unbelievably powerful the star players are. And I just wanted to call and kick in LeBron's back because yesterday he set a record in which he bypassed Kobe Bryant for all the wrong reasons. He has been swept in the playoffs a total of 4 times. Kobe has been swept 3 times. Yesterday was the earliest that LeBron James has exited the playoffs. Previous to yesterday, he was swept twice in the finals, 2007 and 2018, and in 2023 in the Western Finals against Denver Nuggets. And I blame him before that because they were about to win the game. He made a boneheaded decision. He had 3 players on him. The defense collapsed. He decided to take the teardrop instead of passing it to Jackson Hayes for the lob. People were giving Kobe the smoke for taking 2 years, $50 million in his last contract. LeBron has doubled that with almost 102. So you cannot be complaining and crying that you have no help when you are eating the whole salary cap. And I also blame my fellow white boy, Luka Doncic, because how is it that you're 27 in your physical prime and a 42-year-old has more stamina than you, is more suitable to play? You have traded one glass man in Anthony Davis, and you brought another one in Luka Doncic.
Okay.
Yes, and
I hang on a second. I have no response. I did not watch the Lakers and OKC. I'm so not interested in LeBron James. I can't stand to see him flopping and acting like he's been hit by somebody from the opposing team. I just can't do it. But okay. Now let me shift gears here for a second and ask you about the Knicks. Are they popping on all cylinders? They stomped the 76ers. What was the final score? 145, 146 or something?
114 to 84. 84. They beat them by 30 and they led us by as many as almost 50 points. So they give them a pummeling.
So you said what? The final score?
The last game, it was 114 to 84, I believe. They beat them by 30 points.
I could have swore it was 140 or something, Boris. Are you sure?
Or maybe you're right. Maybe, yeah. I'm sorry. You're right. 144 to 114. You're right. By 30 points.
That's crazy.
Yes, I apologize.
That's crazy. 140.
Yes. And they could have beat that record too, because, Knicks, I know you had this conversation in your previous show. Star, I hate to break it to you, and I love the Knicks from the 90s. However, these current Knicks, they have beat the 90s Knicks by a lot of metrics, in terms of
whoa.
Yes, in terms of yes.
Whoa.
And I do not
Boris, please stop. You're saying that today's Knicks are better than the Knicks from the 90s. You're saying that.
That's not what I have said. I have said that they have beaten many of the records previously held by that 90s Knicks.
Okay.
If they go to the finals, even if they just go to the finals, they will have matched that feat that they made it to the finals. However, now, points scored, they beat them in the halftime. The 3 points, they just tied it. If today Jalen Brunson retires, he will be known as a better Knick, not an overall player, but a better Knick than Carmelo Anthony. He have made it to 2 Eastern
I agree with that.
Finals.
I agree with that.
He has broken many records. Yeah. He has surpassed Carmelo Anthony as the better Knick a long time ago. But collectively, they are playing very, very well. Okay. And I think that if they make it to the finals and they have a deep run, they will eventually have surpassed the 90s Knicks. Yes, style of play is different. You will never have the Oakleys. But I can make an argument that the Knicks never had Patrick Ewing shooting threes. You look at what Carl Anthony is doing. Yes, call him zesty, call him whatever you want. Yeah. He has adopted the role as a point center. He is playing a center hybrid.
Okay.
He is leading the point. Yes, and they're a very lethal team. And I think that the Lakers should follow this blueprint because the Knicks, the reason why they're so successful is because they brought, at the very best, all NBA second team type of players. They don't have a first team like Luke, like LeBron, and they have a very deep bench and raw players. Okay. OG Anunoby, yes, he has won a championship. He was never an all-star. Same with Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart.
Boris, I don't mean to cut you short. I don't want to go too far into the whole New York Knicks.
Yes, no problem.
I still am not convinced until they get to the finals, but please keep me posted, and I appreciate you, man.
But the metrics is otherwise, Star. You know what I mean? I don't like to admit it too, but okay. Stats show that they're superior, at least offensively.
Salute.
Take care. Have a good one.
Thank you. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Boris keeps me up to speed along with the Most High. Florida Boy Jay left-handed. I don't know. Until I see it with my own eyes, I still say I've never seen the entire coaching staff leave courtside. Players is one thing, not wanting to shake hands with other players, but anybody from Philly want to admit to that? Guys, there's my show producer, Deeds, on the screen. She's asking you to hit the like button. From time to time, we ask that question, or that we request that from you. Let me just say that. For anybody who has been blocked in the live chat, speak to Deeds. I do not deal with the live chat. I'm very fortunate to have Deeds regulate. If you have been blocked, you can reach out to Deeds. There's her Cash App. If you said some dumb shit about the business model, then yeah, she'll get you out of here. You control. We don't mind you trolling, but all that. Trying to tell other people not to support this machine, she'll set your dumb ass down. William, I got your donation. He says, Star Ozempic rules. Word to DJ Khaled. Shot dead. DJ Khaled, he looks like he lost 75 pounds. He's talking, saying some nice things. His beautiful family was there with him. And yeah, I pay attention to things. Kids rapping the kids. What is this, guys? I don't want to play any more videos with the. Oh, wait a minute. Shut the hell out now. What is this? Okay, that's some young preteen rapping. I'm gonna pass on that, but thank you so much. Yeah, we're not doing a whole lot with kids. Wait a minute. What is this here? Most dedicated fan. Yeah. I'm not going to be impressed until, again, the Knicks get to the finals. Vera, hi Vera, I got your donation. No, Vera, I touched on the Rick Ross versus French Montana. Nobody cared. And they put that video on private. But thank you for your donation. Wait a minute. My show producer, Dee, says Bill Gates on The View warning that the new pandemic could be... Uh-oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. Thank you, Deeds. I'm going to bypass that for right now. Okay. Guys, let me get back to my show notes here. It's Tuesday afternoon. Okay, we spoke about the Hunter virus. I want to keep the Kevin Hart, Katt Williams story at the top. Hey, couple of shows back. Salute to the homie, Gangster of Love, and who else was not familiar with the Gatling gun? Detroit Ziggy. I was asking a question with regards to how FBA, if you're claiming to be FBA, how you lost the land and everything here in America. You guys remember that? And I brought up the Gatling gun. People were stumped. Have you guys had time to do research on the Gatling gun? The white man invented the Gatling gun specifically to lay down Native Americans. Now, there was other guns, I forget the name in the past, but let me look in the live chat. The Gatling gun. I learned about the Gatling gun in the 70s because my father was, into guns. My father was a YN, always cleaning his guns in the living room. My mother she didn't bother him. She didn't care. Guns in the living room. He's cleaning his shit and he watched Westerns and, the Gatling gun. And I'm asking him, and, he had a lot of books. So the Gatling gun, I want to play a video for you in case you don't know, how the white man came up with the Gatling gun. See, it wasn't just, they put dirty blankets on the backs of the natives, disease. No, the Gatling gun. How they got them niggas together. For those who, you know your history. They were doing... Well, let me just play the video. Let me stop talking. Here you go. This is an old video.
Few weapons in modern history have had as profound an impact on the evolution of warfare as the Gatling gun. During the American Civil War, Dr. Richard Gatling saw Union soldiers marching toward battle and witnessed the relentless procession of wounded and fallen men returning from the front lines. In response, Gatling embarked on a mission to create a labor-saving device for warfare. The result was the Gatling gun, a rapid-firing multiple-barrel machine gun that would become a cornerstone in the evolution of firearms. In today's video, we're going to explore the history and enduring impact of the Gatling gun, taking a closer look at its remarkable journey over time. The Gatling gun, a pioneering hand-driven, crank-operated, multi-barreled weapon, stands as one of the earliest manifestations of what we now know as machine guns. Notably, it was the first machine gun to boast reliable loading mechanisms, granting it the capacity to unleash sustained bursts of firepower. Gatling's eponymous invention came into existence during the American Civil War, driven by the idealistic hope of rendering war unthinkable due to the sheer devastation it could unleash. At the very least, he believed his invention could reduce the number of soldiers required to engage in battle. He famously wrote that his goal was to shrink the size of armies, thus lowering casualties from combat and disease, while also highlighting the senselessness of war. Patented on November 4, 1862, the initial version of the Gatling gun had 6 barrels arranged in a circle around a central axis. Typically operated with a crew of 4, the Gatling gun weighed approximately 77 kilograms and measured over 1 meter in length. The Gatling gun used a top-loading magazine that loaded each barrel in sequence. As the gunner turned the crank, one barrel fired with each rotation. The rate of fire depended on how fast the gunner could turn the crank. In its early form, it could shoot up to 200 rounds per minute, and later versions could fire even more rapidly, reaching rates like 700 to 1,000 rounds per minute. This was a remarkable contrast to the time it took for an enemy soldier in the line of fire to reload and fire a single shot. While promising, the initial reception of the Gatling gun by the U.S. Army was marked by reluctance, with the machine gun initially being overlooked. It wasn't until the summer of 1863 that the Washington Navy Yard commenced testing the Gatling gun. An evaluating officer provided a positive assessment, noting its simplicity of mechanical construction and well-executed workmanship. However, despite this encouraging evaluation, the U.S. opted not to adopt the gun, leading to another 3 years of limited recognition within the military. In the interim, a few Army officers took the initiative to acquire Gatling guns for themselves. The Gatling gun saw its first combat use in the final year of the American Civil War, when Union General Benjamin F. Butler deployed it during the siege of Petersburg, Virginia. Following the end of the war in 1866, the U.S. Army finally placed its first order for 100 Gatling guns. Gatling collaborated with Colt for their production. In the years that followed, the Gatling gun became vital in U.S. military operations, especially in conflicts with Native American tribes in the American West.
Stop right there. Did you hear that? Any thoughts? Anybody want to chime in? Phone lines open. Who's on the screen there? Thank you for your donation. The breakdancing baby. Okay, represents the humanity of the people of Palestine. Okay. This beautiful kids. We have nothing crazy to say about the kids, you know, breaking through trauma. Tony Touch, good to see you, sir. Shooting FBA like watermelon. Come on now, call in about the Gatling gun. Yes, I'm very familiar with the Confederacy. But we're talking about the Gatling gun. Come on now, let's get on the same page. Hold on.
Beyond U.S. borders, foreign interest in the Gatling gun surged as well. Russia became the first country in Europe to directly purchase Gatling guns from Colt, while British manufacturer W.G. Armstrong secured a license to produce and sell Gatling guns. The Gatling gun made its British debut in 1879 during the Zulu War, marking another step in its journey from invention to global recognition. Continual innovation led to the production of new models, steadily improving upon the original design until the early 20th century.
We'll stop right there. Who's that on the screen there? Peace from Patterson. Sir, can you please call in? You just had a crazy shooting out there, yes? P-Town. What's going on in Patterson? The home of Lou Costello. Is the statue still there of Lou Costello?
Richard Gatling, with 43 patents to his name, passed away in 1903 at the age of 85, leaving a legacy that spanned from a steam-driven tractor to an improved flush toilet and, of course, the Gatling gun. However, his most renowned invention faced competition from newer firearms based on recoil mechanisms rather than revolving barrels. As World War I erupted, the Gatling gun gave way to the first completely automatic machine gun, designed by Hiram Maxim in England during the 1880s.
Okay. Are you up to speed for those of you who didn't know? Listen, I'm old, so I learned about this stuff decades ago. The Gatling gun, huh? Took that over to Africa and got those niggas' minds right, huh? Hey, Deeds, she says, my show producer, if the cops aren't trained to rescue a drowning person, they can't go in the water or they can end up drowning themselves. Yes, that's what I think. Anybody some type of search and rescue expert? Peace, Queen. Good to hear from you, Jen, on a Tuesday afternoon. Janet.
Hey, Star, how are you?
I'm good. You sent me that video and you sent me an update with regards to the $150,000 payout to who? The family? I'm not clear.
Right. The reason I sent that video is because, well, the cops got reinstated, and the family only got $150,000.
Okay.
Now, 11 days before this incident with this homeless man, they rescued a dog out of the same lake.
Right.
And the reason that is so important is the cops didn't go in. Okay, say for one reason, okay, whatever. But they stopped other people from rescuing him.
Oh, okay.
That's the point I was trying to make. You could be a racist all you want, but if you will see somebody having a heart attack and somebody else tries to save them and you stop them from saving this person's life, then you are, then to me, in my opinion, that's murder one.
Okay.
That's murder one. And they looked over it and they breezed over it like it was nothing because this was a homeless black man. Yeah. Now, I say, well, what difference does it make? It makes a difference because it could happen to anybody. This is not an isolated case.
Gotcha.
People go 11 days before this, the cops went into that lake to rescue a dog, but they wouldn't go into the lake or allow anyone else to go into that lake to rescue.
Is the dog okay, Jan? Is the dog okay?
Well, they rescued the dog, but that's not the point, and it's not a joke because it's human life.
No. I'm a long-time doggy daddy. I'm serious. Is the dog okay?
All right, well, the dog is okay because they rescued the dog. But my whole thing is, no matter what point in life that you are in, whether you up or down or whatever, we all go through things. Right. It's the dignity of being a human being. And these cops show no dignity as a human to allow someone else, even if they didn't want to do it, they didn't allow someone else to help.
Gotcha.
They didn't allow other people to go in. They used their authority and their badges to stop other people from helping. And then they turn around in Arizona and say, okay, we're going to give you $150,000. He was homeless anyway. This is probably as much money he was going to make. You don't know that. What happened to human dignity?
I gotcha.
These cops show none.
Okay. So I guess in Arizona, which is where that video took place, have they changed any policies or anything, or have they implemented some type of new law with regards to how law enforcement responds? Even if you don't have quote unquote training, you have to make an effort to save someone.
Yes, now they gave police officers some type of a bridge pylon, so if they see somebody in the lake, they can throw the pylon in the lake, and that'll stop the person once they grab onto it.
Got you.
All right, but to restrain someone else from helping someone save a life, you know how blatantly evil that is. I don't care if a person makes a die. I don't care.
Well, hang on a second, Janet.
Billionaire on crack. It's
Janet.
Dignity.
Janet, I appreciate your passion, but now you and I, we know that in different places in the world, in China, you're not supposed to intervene. I played a video a couple weeks ago, 2 people scrapping on the subway, and they have some type of laws where, step back, don't intervene for legal reasons. I think it has to do with maybe a system of class. I don't know, but you're not supposed to intervene. You're not supposed to, be all up in somebody's business and possibly causing more harm. So I hear you when you say racism, but that's not the law of the land every place. To be fair.
We're talking about people that hold badges that took an oath to protect lives. They took an oath to protect the policies that govern the area. Gotcha. And so that area policies must state, well, only if it's these type of people. Right. We should be outraged. This is horrific. This is horrific. This is not something. How could you, as a human being, stand there and watch somebody drown?
I got you.
And you wear a badge, and you took oath, and you trained, and then not only that, did you not do that? And I hate to keep repeating myself, but the thing is, they stopped other people from helping him.
Okay, Janet, it's early afternoon. Come on, just take a break. I got you. Thank you. No.
Okay.
Stay with me. Stay with me. I got time here. I'm having a beer. I'm doing a research show. Would you care to give us some type of review? You went to the movies? Yes, no?
Oh, yes. I went to see Michael Jackson. Oh, my God. I knew every last song. I didn't know that Michael Jackson was that instrumental in my whole life. He was like, I was born like in 68. Right. And everything he said, everything he did, I remember the stories. I was having flashback every song. I was having such a good time. It was so, oh my God, I had such a good time. I did. And then I was singing and the girls in the back was singing and we was just having fun and we was dancing after the end of the movie. It was just beautiful. It was very inspiring.
I'm gonna watch it. But did you? Yeah, I'm gonna watch it on the free movie website. But did they play some of the hits from the 70s? That's what I want to see. I don't want to see all that Beat It and Billie Jean. I want to hear the 70s. Never can say goodbye. I want to hear that.
I'm telling you, they played everything from the 70s. And, when I was a younger girl, I
got to be there.
The TV and a record player on top, and you put the things in, and I used to play the records of the Michael Jackson. It smelled like you could smell the rubber from that because, back in the 70s, things weren't, But anyway, I literally.
What about Rockin' Robin? Rockin' Robin?
Oh my God! I don't think I heard Rockin' Robin. I don't think I heard Rockin' Robin. I might have. I don't know, but it was so many songs they was playing, and only thing I got from that really is that negative is that his nephew. He did such a good job, but I don't want that to be his nephew's legacy. He has to have a legacy of his own. He did such a good job, but I don't want him pinholed into that where you can only play Michael Jackson, because he was a good actor.
Okay.
You understand? But it was you have to go see it. Go see it in the big theaters. Go see it with some friends.
Nah, I'm going to watch it on the free movie website because, just the disrespect for Joe Jackson. I don't want to sit through that and then, I want to be able to push the fast forward tab on my laptop once they start trying to play out the black man. He beat those boys into success. I stand on that. Go ahead.
And they showed it.
Good.
And they showed it.
Good.
And they showed it. And they showed that the Kathleen, the mother, being complicit because she sat back and watched it. You were complicit in that, so you were an abuser too. I understand you might have been scared of your husband, but I know women give their lives for their children. You were complicit. You stood in the back and watched it, and then you profit from whatever they made. And I was a little upset about that. But then later on in the movie, they kind of redeemed her after the boys got older. But no, they needed her then. But being in a situation as poor as they were in Gary, Indiana, and what they were going through, and it's either that or homeless with your kids. Where you going to go? So I kind of get it, but it's rough. That was the truth back then. A lot of women stayed with abusive men because where else were they going to go? Okay. I understand it because they couldn't even open a bank account on their own in the 70s. I understand it, but it kind of hurt, and it kind of hurt me because I was looking at it through today's lens when I should have been looking at it through the 1960s and 1970 lenses. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to watch it. I appreciate you giving a breakdown. I see it different because, times have changed. This we know. And people who have lasted the test of time, sometimes they start changing things around to suit the needs of the current climate, In my opinion.
Well, no.
Hang on. In my opinion, Katherine Jackson back in those days, living in the slums of Gary, Indiana. If those boys came to her sniffling, Joe beat me, she probably said, you got to learn your steps, baby. We got to get up out of here. I need you to focus. Hang on, I let you speak. Need you to focus. Listen to your father, son. That's what you called an agreeable woman back in those days. But go ahead and land your plane. Go ahead.
No, what I'm saying, I agree with you 100%. But I don't know. Well, they played like she was against that the corporal punishment that he was giving to the children. Yeah. But however, what can she do? And as you're right, women back then, they had to be more docile.
Agreeable. Agreeable, not docile. Agreeable.
Okay, agreeable, because they couldn't even open a bank account. What year was it that women were allowed to have their own bank account? Was it like 1979?
You can do the Googling if you like. I'm putting some respect on Katherine Jackson's name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Joe had other kids, and there was no dust being kicked up. I don't think Rebe, doesn't he have a daughter older than Rebe? Let me look in the live chat. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You see, you got me Googling here. Go ahead, Janet.
Okay. No, but overall, it's a great movie. I would not want to see that movie alone. At the first time seeing that movie, I would love to have people around. And remember, I went way late last night, and I had people around.
Good
and I
for
did
you.
have company. I did have company because someone took me to the movies.
Hey.
They took me to the movies,
Okay.
so I did have company.
Okay.
And yeah, I had a date. And it was wonderful, and everybody
Good
had
for
a good
you.
time.
Good for you.
Yeah, so
Good for you.
yeah, it was wonderful. But
hey, Janet, before you go,
Mm-hmm.
I've been talking about my father here because I've been going through some of his naval records for the family tree that I've been working on over the decades. And, he told me he spent time in jail, but I have all the details about, how much time, and they took some of his pay, cursing at police, some of the other charges, direct disobedience to orders. He got an honorable discharge, but then he was in the reserves for many, many years. But he seemed like what would have been classified as a problem in the Navy once upon a time. So I'm just asking, was your father a YN, a young nigga, rambunctious, rebellious? Your father?
Well, my father, his name was Wim, and they called him Big Bill because he was like, my father was like 6'5".
Okay.
Right? He was the youngest, and they grew up in Alabama, so they seen people hung. So as far as your father and my father, they could have been around the same age group. And they you could have called them YNs or whatever, but they knew right from wrong, and they stood on it. And they made a success of themselves. Like your father, he was a tradesman. He could do anything, like electronics, electricity, all that.
Right.
My father, he went to school and graduated. When he was walking to school, he would see people hanged, and he still graduated post high school because he did refrigeration until he got sick because of the Freon stuff. And he still had, and he worked with the state. So when he got sick, the state paid for everything, so we were okay.
Was he a YN is my question, and I'm not trying to besmirch anyone's character, but that type of rebellious young black person is what I'm more so focused on.
It's a word I'm looking for that I can't find, but I wouldn't call them rebellious, because to rebel is something. I wouldn't call them rebellious. I just think that they had character.
Okay.
I think they were cut from a different cloth. And I think they stood on themselves. So if you say a YN is somebody who stand on business, then yeah, they were YN. Okay. But I think your father, my father, Big Bill, they stood on business. Okay. They stood and they made it, and they put a roof over their children's heads and food on the plate, and put them through an education.
I think my father was a crash out nigga too. But listen, I appreciate you, Jenny. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Right. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Star.
Bye-bye. Good to talk to Janet. For those who care, this came out a couple of months ago, but I think this story is always worth telling, especially to the newer generation. Anybody from Philly or South Jersey, you know this story well, okay? Matter of fact, I'm going to take my break and I'll be right back. Let me play this for you guys if you're not up to speed. The forgotten history of Philadelphia's Operation Move, okay? Here we go.
This week marked the 40th anniversary of one of the worst tragedies in the history of Philadelphia. In May 1985, the city's police department dropped an improvised bomb on a residential home that housed the Black revolutionary organization called MOVE. The bomb and the ensuing fire killed 11 members of the group, including 5 children, and destroyed more than 60 nearby homes. Ali Rogan reports on why so many are still coming to grips with what happened.
MOVE is a totally revolutionary organization.
The complicated story of MOVE begins in the early 1970s. The organization followed the teachings of their founder, John Africa, who advocated a lifestyle rooted in nature. All members took Africa's last name and lived communally in West Philadelphia.
We must fight back.
They were known for staging disruptive demonstrations and frequently clashing with authorities, protesting everything from police brutality and war to pet stores and zoos.
MOVE is and was an organization that's very much committed to life in all of its forms and whatever that looks like.
Tommy Oliver is the director of 40 Years a Prisoner, a 2020 HBO documentary that traces the group's origins.
They're committed to eating naturally, to living naturally, to not being reliant on technology.
We walked around naked a lot. As children, the organization they believed in vitamin D from the sun. They believed in allowing your skin to be tougher and stronger.
Mike Africa Jr.'s parents were both members of MOVE.
Yes, it was unorthodox, and some things were strange to some people, but for me, that was life.
That way of life often put MOVE at odds with local police and their neighbors, who accused them of creating unsanitary living conditions.
Them trying to live in the way that they wanted to live didn't sit well with a lot of people. So sometimes the neighbors, sometimes the city, and it escalated pretty significantly, pretty quickly.
In 1978, more than a year after the city issued an eviction notice, Philadelphia's then mayor, Frank Rizzo, ordered an attack on MOVE's home.
They're going to go either easy or hard way. That can be standing up or laying down.
The months-long standoff culminated in a shootout. One police officer was killed and MOVE's home was demolished. While MOVE maintains that the officer died by friendly fire, 9 of its members were convicted and sentenced to up to 100 years in prison, including Mike Africa Jr.'s parents.
The mayor admitted that he believed my parents were innocent. He believed that my parents were not in prison for the charge that they were charged with.
Police are inside MOVE headquarters in West Philadelphia conducting an intensive search for weapons.
He says the media's portrayal of MOVE was often exaggerated, and he says the organization was misunderstood even among many African Americans.
MOVE members are not the turn the other cheek type people. And a lot of people felt like pacifism was the answer. And MOVE members were not pacifistic. If a cop attacked them, they would fight back.
Tommy Oliver says those early confrontations, including that 1978 shootout, are critical to understanding what eventually happened 7 years later.
You had officers and members of the police force who wanted revenge.
In May of 1985, Philadelphia Mayor Wilson Goode ordered the organization to be removed once again from a home where they were living.
What we have out there is war.
And on May 13th, local news stations like WCAU in Philadelphia covered the escalating crisis throughout the day. Police would fire more than 10,000 rounds of ammunition into MOVE's row house before eventually dropping a bomb on it. The city's police commissioner at the time, Gregory Sambor, defended his officers that evening.
At no time did any police position fire in an offensive posture. It was purely in a defensive posture.
11 MOVE members, including 5 children, were killed. While no city officials were criminally charged, a Philadelphia investigative commission later concluded that police actions were clearly excessive and, quote, unconscionable.
I don't think I'll ever recover or heal from what happened.
Mike Africa Jr., who was 6 at the time of the bombing, is now working as the legacy director of MOVE. He's reunited with his parents, who were released from prison in 2018 but remain on parole.
I've never heard of another case where a government has dropped a bomb on citizens in America. This is not something that you can repair.
back to normal. You have to find other ways to cope. And that's what I've been doing for the last 40 years.
In 2020, Philadelphia's city council formally apologized for what happened, as has former Mayor Wilson Goode. But Africa Jr. says 4 decades later, he'd like the city to create a permanent memorial to commemorate all that was lost that day. In your opinion, why do you feel that so few Americans know about the events that took place 40 years ago?
Any comments? Phone lines are open. Did you know about Operation Move? They dropped a bomb on black families. It wasn't the 1800s. It wasn't the 1920s, 30s, 50s, or 60s.
I think the city of Philadelphia does a really good job of limiting the amount of exposure to what happened. I also think that Move history is a very controversial history that brings up a lot of trauma for a lot of people. Black people were killed by law enforcement. And, you know, if you saw what happened to George Floyd, and at a certain point, you're tired of hearing about the people that were getting killed by these police officers.
But that doesn't stop Mike Africa Jr. from his mission of making sure the history of Move and the tragic event that claimed 11 lives isn't forgotten. For PBS News Weekend, I'm Allie Rogan.
Stop right there. Not that you have to comment, but, you know, I'm just putting some things on the table here. Hold on a second. Phone lines open if you care. Okay, I'm doing research here. Tuesday afternoon. I've been away for a few days in case you have been looking for me. I've kind of somewhat sort of gotten into fishing as I get older. Anybody get any tips for deep sea fishing out in the ocean? Let me look in the live chat. Deep sea fishing, 1974. First time I went deep sea fishing, Martha's Vineyard, my grandmother and my grandfather. We went out on a boat. They were catching bonita. Have you ever heard of bonita and bluefish? Deep sea fishing. I kind of like it. Area code 202. Please watch the language. Good afternoon. Doing a little research. Are you there?
Hey, good afternoon, Star. This is guy Steve. Talked to you a few times.
Hey, sir. How are you?
Calling on, I'm originally from Philly, from West Philly, and I live right down the street, a couple blocks over. Went to Samuel B. Huey.
Okay.
And we was in class when we heard the explosion. Mm-hmm. So I'll give you a little bit of description and backstory. When I was a kid, we did look at Move as being weird. We heard they ate rats. Yeah. And the media did make them look terrible. Mm-hmm. Even from the 70s when Mayor Rizzo had that, I think it was like 30-day standoff with Move. They made them look bad. But what happened was two things that I can honestly say happened. I went to a church one time, and this was years later, and Wilson Goode, that was the mayor, had went on the stand, went on the pulpit and apologized with tears in his eyes. And he pretty much admitted that the call to drop that bomb on people was from the federal government. Like it was out of his hands. And he really didn't want to make that call. Mm-hmm. Right? Then later on, years later, after I come out the penitentiary, I was blessed to be training. I was in a Kung Fu class with a guy that was super militant, good friend of mine, and he used to train a lot of the people from Move. Right. And then when I come to find out, it was white people that was in Move. It wasn't just black. Right. It was white people in Move, and I used to train with them too. Right. And they was really just about being of the earth and all that. And it gave me clarity and proper perspective to who these people really was and how the media manipulates people, man, especially the minds of children. Man, after them people were super gross.
Yeah. Did you say how old you are, sir?
Yeah, I'm 52.
Oh, okay. So I mean,
from West Philly. I live in Maryland now.
Salute. So, well, you know, sometimes I like to play some of these older videos so that the younger generation can at least, you know about it, even if they don't gravitate towards the story, because now there's so many things by way of the Black experience. They're trying to suppress it. They don't want anything being taught like critical race theory, you know. So I think it's important. But good. Anything else you want to say about that?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes, definitely. Was kind of, you're going to probably be mad at me for me saying this.
Oh, no, come on.
Critical race theory and the way they teach history, to me, is a good thing because it's going to force us.
I like it.
What really happened
No. I like them teaching critical race theory. I'm not against that. Go ahead.
No, what I'm saying is, I don't have a problem with them suppressing it because it's going to force you to find out what really happened in history, because they don't really tell you the full story, what really happened in our history. And I want to wrap your head off about what really happened in our history. But to compare George Floyd to that move was ridiculous. Yeah. That move thing was serious.
Yeah.
This George Floyd, there's a lot of mitigating circumstances with that. His credibility that's compared to move. Move was a real militant, natural movement. Compared to George, I didn't like the fact he did that, and he should know better. Yeah. I was around those type of people, and they was really militant.
What's the guy's name from the Spike Lee film Gator? I've always called George Floyd Gator. Was it Jungle Fever? You ever seen it?
I know exactly what you're talking about. That's a good analogy. That's a good point. Hey, quick question though. What do you think about I mean to get off topics. What do you think about the alien reveal? Them coming out clean.
We spoke about that last week. I want to stay focused.
Oh, shoot. Damn, my bad.
It's okay.
I missed that.
It's okay. But listen, you're right, man. And thank you for some backstory here on Operation Move. Again, I'm an older guy. I'm a few years older.
How old are you?
62.
Okay.
I'm 62
okay.
now. Mm-hmm. But Philly, to my understanding, my family, going back to the early days of Cheltenham, yada, 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 has always been and probably still is one of the most culturally proud places in America. And I think that's another reason why they don't talk about the history of Operation Move. Culturally proud. Would you not agree? Would you agree?
Oh, 110%, man. That's why my militant way of thinking is from growing up in Philly, man, and just, learning the real history of things and being around, the Nation of Islam, the Sunni brothers, and all, just being around the whole environment. Yes, without question.
I'm so old, sir. I used to go to the Cheltenham movie theater. You remember that? Back in the 70s?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I used to go to Dowling's Palace around 2010, 2011. Used to go upstairs, right? Dowling's Palace, and they had the spoken word, and you walk straight to the back, and they had the kitchen, all that good-ass food.
Mm-hmm. It's really a different place, man. I miss it. I ain't gonna lie, I miss it.
Fish sandwiches on the third floor, Piccadilly's, all them fine ass, all that fine brown sugar up there.
Yeah, you talking about off of Allegheny Avenue. Yep. I remember you from where you used to be on Power 99.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the call, man. Salute.
Yes, sir. Salute, bro.
Thank you. Okay. Good call. Operation Move, if you care, do your own research. Florida Boy J, is that you, sir? Area code 904.
Hey, it can only be me.
Yes,
Hey, laid him down. Another FBA down, man. Listen, dog.
Now, can you give us the backstory? Where did that happen? And is the guy in the red? Is he now? Is he with Jesus? What happened?
What happened was this is a surveillance video from Jacob's Food Market in Gastonia, North Carolina, showing Derek Maganault in the red tracksuit, right? Arguing with another man, repeatedly threatening him with, "You're trying to lose your life tonight?
Right.
You're trying to lose your life tonight?" While displaying, catch this, a realistic replica handgun.
Oh my God.
He pulled out the fake burner, sir. He pulled out the fake blicky. run down on the store.
Right.
Perceived Maginot as an immediate threat. One fired inside the store as he moved toward the exit, and both continue emptying the clip outside when he appeared to raise the object, striking him 4 times fatally. Now, the Gaston County DA ruled the January 10th, 2026 shooting as justified due to the ongoing threat posed by the fake gun presented as real through Maginot's family disputes the officer's actions, plans for further challenges ahead, Star. The fake blicky got you laid down.
He pulled out a starter pistol and got that work.
A cap gun.
A cap gun.
Got clapped.
Wow. Now, in the legal world, that's called brandishing a firearm. I caught that charge a couple of times. So, yeah, you pull it out, you got to use it, you know? If it's real, it's real. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, you pull it out, talking crazy. No, I didn't want to derail your show or anything.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Anytime I see somebody getting clapped online, I got to send it to you quick, fast, and hurry. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Flicky out.
Thank you.
Yeah, got clapped. Police laid him down. You talking crazy to another FBA in your own hood, and serves them right. Serves them right. Don't run around here with a fake gun talking crazy,
right?
Because you never know who police, and you never know who's holding.
Hey, if we can go left here for a second. So you and I spoke about the New York Knicks briefly. 144 to 114, if I remember correctly. That was a pummeling, a beating of I don't even know what to say, but that was a beating. Are the Knicks going to the finals, in your opinion, Florida Boy J?
Are the Knicks going to the NBA Finals? I think right now all roads are clear for a NBA Finals appearance from the New York Knicks. In my most objective opinion, I'm looking at the Cavaliers. I don't trust James Harden. James Harden comes up very small in the postseason, so I have less belief in him than I do the Knicks. And then you look at the Detroit Pistons. They struggled against Orlando Magic. They're struggling to finish their food with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I think that game 6 where the Knicks are beating the Hawks like 60, 70 points, I think having that on film, seeing what works for them, and I think it was Boris who brought up that they're running Karl Anthony Towns as a center point guard where he's orchestrating the offense. They have a lot of good quality pieces and a lot of good depth on the bench. And right now, I don't see anybody in the East playing toe-to-toe with them. And in the Western Conference, that's the only teams I see right now that can, and that's the Timberwolves with Anthony Edwards and OKC and SGA. Those are the only 2 teams I see that have deep enough rosters and tough enough defense and the good production on offense that can keep up with the New York Knicks.
Okay, now I'm gonna wait because I'm just not, I'm not there. I want to see the Knicks get a championship. It's been far too long. The number one market, I've said this on multiple occasions. Anything else by way of I don't know, basketball that we need to know? LeBron James coming back to the Lakers, or does anybody care?
Oh, well, LeBron James, when it was time to get his Kobe on, get his Mike, get his Larry on, get his Magic Bird on last night when they gave him the ball to give him the go-ahead bucket. LeBron, you're at home, you're down 3-0. It's time to show us why you're the GOAT. According to some. And he missed the bucket. He bricked it. They lost the game. He got sent home. It's over for him. I don't want to hear no GOAT conversations. Wash his old ass out. And now we're going to have to figure out if he's going to bandwagon with the Cavs next year or try to find another team to ride their coattails to try to get carried to a 5th championship right now.
Yeah.
The fraud.
Okay. Hey, Matt, thank you as always. And we'll catch up later. Salute.
Absolutely, man. Have a great show. Thank you.
Yes. Florida Boy J. Guys, that's the PayPal and Venmo information on the screen. If you don't have Cash App, you want to support the research shows. I like to do these sometimes at 9 a.m. early. Today I got a late starting, but I want to talk about some of these topics. Blade sends in a donation. He says, salute to the Philly niggas who were snitching on Star. Well, Blade, to be fair, I didn't do a lot of things in Philly that would cause me to get, arrested. Philly's not the place where you play around like that, Bill, I got your donation. Thank you so much. Sends in a Cash App donation. Is it me? Hey, Marty. Hi, Marty. I know a few Martys. Okay. Are you the Marty who I used to go roller skating with back in the days, or is that a different Marty? Okay. Either way, I appreciate your donation. Thank you so much. So, okay. Somebody from Baltimore hating. Yo, I've been watching since you started the show. That hat timestamp Tiffany gave you is trash. Use a whole lie, sir. In case you guys just now tuning in, timestamp Tiffany sent me this. Look at that, brand new. Baltimore. Is that the new colors? That's nice, huh? Hey, Boogie, thank you for being a member. Shadow Blitz, thank you for being a member. You are able to talk reckless today if you're not a member because Deeds is allowing the live chat to rip. Deeds. Okay, we've got member. No, we're not going to post comments about the little kids breakdancing down there in the Gaza. That was a feel-good video. Come on. I did not see the Michael movie yet. I've got the link on the free movie website. I'm definitely not going to the theater. Salute to Mr. Joe Jackson. Without Mr. Joe Jackson, that Michael Jackson movie wouldn't be out. Wouldn't be about. Okay. It's become a thing to try and dehumanize black fathers from back in the days. And I guess that's part of the reason why I started out asking, was your father a YN? I'm going to see the Michael movie. What is it? Today's Tuesday? Maybe before Friday. Never been an African. Okay, what is this? Blade sent me a link here. Blade, I'm going to pass. What's going on with Nick Cannon? Salute to Nick Cannon. Never met him. I'm not interested. Something about fathers, mothers. I don't want to do that, man, but thank you. Okay. Let me get back to my show notes, guys. Got myself another beer. Can we do well, I got two videos. Let me see. Amy Goodman, Democracy Now! I like to check her daily updates. Or Japan, building up their military again. Prime Minister said, Japan back. Are they trying to get into the nuclear game? Let me take one phone call first. Hold on. Hey there, good afternoon. Please watch the language. Doing a research show. You there? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Star. Detroit Ziggy's happening. How are you?
Good to hear from you, man. Where do you want to start? I'm just discussing a bunch of topics, mainly Kevin Hart and Katt Williams, if you care.
Well, I might get into Kevin Hart and Katt here after I that was so entertaining watching John Deere unload on the black man at the corner store gas station there, wasn't it?
a fake gun. A fake gun.
Yeah. Is that right? Well, and nevertheless, I mean, it's funny, you know, Star. You mentioned this last week when you were playing the bodega gentleman getting stomped down by the two New York cops. And Star, they don't play games like this down south, you know, and we because you know there's law and order in some other states and counties and communities in America. So you know you need to be careful about who you speak to during the day.
Well, I think sometimes people, you know, get the feeling, or they try to make an impression, and they pull out guns. And if you pull it out, you got to use it. You know, I mean, that's basically the law of the land. Yes, no.
Absolutely. And Start, you know, everybody can learn a lesson. It seems like all of these videos you keep playing, whether it be white, black, green, orange, it always happens either at a gas station or like a little corner store. And I think we all need to pay attention. You know, let's pay attention and let's divert our ventures somewhere else besides gas stations late at night or even during the day, as you can see.
I'm thoroughly
yeah, go ahead, Star.
I'm thoroughly entertained. I mean, I look for the drama at the gas station inside the bodega. There's a guy, I forget his name, but he films his interactions with people who come up to his counter. I think it's somewhere in Illinois, Chicago. He films his interactions with customers, the tension, the jokes. Sometimes, you know, people do pull out a gun. I mean, so I think that setting is always going to be a source of entertainment. It's never going to stop. Go ahead.
Star, I'm well familiar with that YouTube gentleman who has that. That is so fun, and you know, it's like a rotating, evolving door of multiple personalities that come in there, and once you test them 1 second, they just explode, and it's funny how you mentioned that, and that's the Star. These personalities, these day-to-day reactions, you see, you know, on camera who people really are during the day, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah. But
Star, I'm glad you're on during the day. Enjoy the nice sunny weather. And
well, hang on a second, Detroit Ziggy. Last time we spoke, you were not familiar with the Gatling gun. Did you get a chance to see the video I played?
No, I'm glad you remembered that. I have, but I have not gotten to it. Star, next time we chat, I will bring it up. Thank you so much.
Okay. A great white invention. A great white invention. I mean, you know, people talk about a disease and all this other stuff that took the natives down. No, it was the Gatling gun that got roughly 60% of them out of here. But good to talk to you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Enjoy your day.
Thank you. Guys, www.orionskies.com, one of my sponsors. Please go there if you're having any type of event at night, gathering, and you're looking for a very unique light show with drones and other things. I'm talking about they've got some spectacular displays and things that they can do, again, for any type of gatherings, weddings, family reunions. OrionSkies.com. Please tell them I sent you. Okay. So, let me go to this video that I mentioned with regards to Japan. Trying to get it together since, since we gave them some straightening. Where's that video at? Here we go. For those who care, I like to watch a variety of different media sources, not just American, news. It came out a couple of weeks ago, this video. Pay attention.
Pacifism has become part of Japan's identity. For 8 decades, it's been enshrined in law. After World War II, defeated Japan had to renounce militarism and war. But Japan's first female prime minister is trying to transform the country.
Japan is back.
So why is Japan boosting its defense spending? And what does the crumbling world order have to do with it? Picturesque nature and peace. That's what the Japanese island of Yonaguni is known for. Soon it will also be home to air defense missiles like these. Yonaguni belongs to an archipelago that stretches towards Japan's main islands. Japan sees it as part of a new front line and has been adding military assets on the islands, like radar systems and air defense missiles. That's because the islands are here, off the coast of China. They're a natural boundary between the East China Sea and the Pacific Ocean, and control of these seas is highly contested. Yonaguni is just 110 kilometers from Taiwan. You probably know China claims Taiwan as part of its territory. Chinese drills around Taiwan seem to be simulating a blockade of the island. Japan has long been cautious on the Taiwan issue. Enter Sanae Takaichi, Japan's first female prime minister. She's known for her nationalist views. She's gone viral for her accessories and her unconventional moves. Takaichi is changing things up, including on Taiwan. She said a Chinese attack on Taiwan could threaten Japan's very survival, and that could mean a Japanese military response. An unusually tough stance for Japan that helped her party win a landslide election victory.
Japan is back.
There is an appetite for clarity and for a firmer defense position for Japan, and that's...
Did you catch that? Did it get past you? What did she say again?
And that helped her party win a landslide election victory.
Japan is back.
She said it right in front of Trump. Phone lines open. Anybody? I mean, if not, I'll keep it going. Japan back. Gangster bitch. Is she up to something? She about to try and get some nuclear weapons? Hey, Ivy. Oh, I like Ivy's comment. Japan version of Trump. Is Japan putting smoke to those Muslim mosques? Or is that fake news? Supposedly, they instilled some new laws and policies. You have to be proud to be Japanese. Were they taking down mosques or stopping people from building Muslim mosques? Making them be proud to be Japanese? Well, Ivy might be right. She might be the Japanese version of Trump.
There is an appetite for clarity and for a firmer defense position for Japan, and that's something a decade or so ago that might have been a little bit more contested.
Takaichi is boosting Japan's military capabilities. The country has just deployed long-range missiles. And there are even discussions about Japan getting its own nuclear weapons.
No, wait. Run that back. Did you hear that?
About Japan getting its own nuclear weapons. Takaichi is rushing through a rise in defense spending, doubling it to 2% of Japanese GDP. Because it has such a big economy, that would make Japan the third biggest defense spender in the world.
So in terms of scale, this is a significant signal that Japan is investing in that hard power area.
This is Sheila Smith. She's an expert on Japanese foreign policy and the author of the book Japan Rearmed.
It wants to make sure it's sending a signal to its neighbors that they should be prepared for a Japanese response if there is aggression against Japan. But for Japan in the post-war period, they have largely said, we're not going to invest in hard power, military power.
The change is a big deal because of Japan's brutal past. Japan had imperial ambitions. It conquered and colonized numerous territories, including in China. Then Japan joined forces with Nazi Germany in World War II. In 1941, it launched a surprise attack in the Pacific, hitting the U.S. fleet in Pearl Harbor. More than 2,000 Americans were killed, and the assault led the U.S. to enter the war. Fighting between Japan and the U.S. in Asia was bloody. Then, in 1945, hundreds of thousands of Japanese were killed after the U.S. dropped nuclear bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The first and only wartime use of nuclear weapons. Japan surrendered, and World War II was officially over.
Japan's war was an atrocious war, of course, for the victims, but also from the aggressor's side, it was horrible.
This is Koichi Nagano. He has written extensively about Japanese politics, history, and nationalism.
So coming out of the war, people felt that, okay, we didn't gain much of anything, but and we lost a lot of things, and we certainly lost our pride and our credibility, but we are now moving ahead now as a pacifist country.
After the war, the Allied powers under U.S. command demilitarized the country and wrote a pacifist clause into Japan's constitution. Article 9 renounces war, though it does allow self-defense.
The Japanese have come to establish a rather strong post-war identity centered around on this idea that we are not going to be involved in a war.
Having a U.S. security guarantee helped. Japan hosts more U.S. troops than any other country, like at these bases.
The post-war Japanese security system has been kind of a compromise, and the tension in between a rather sweeping pacifist Article 9 on the one hand, and the rather conflicting alliance with the United States.
I got your comment on the screen. I don't know if you're just trolling. No, the nuke was not unnecessary. They bombed Pearl Harbor. The Japanese. It was not unnecessary.
The principle of pacifism is so ingrained that Japan's military is still called a self-defense force. It has around 250,000 active duty personnel, but no conscription. And the design of the country's latest defense plan doesn't look super threatening either. Internationally, Japan has long advocated against nuclear weapons and for diplomacy, rather than military force. The last time Japan's government made big changes to defense policy was under the late Shinzo Abe, Takaichi's mentor. Those changes were met with mass protests. But polling shows that mood has been shifting.
Stop right there. Thank you for your comments. If you're members, that this is a research show. DG-420 says it was necessary bombing Hiroshima because they wouldn't ever stop fighting. Yeah. See, the Japanese, subscribe to death before dishonor. That's why they have something over there called seppuku. Fall on a sword and kill yourself if you cannot, present yourself in a way that's a provider and a leader. Seppuku.
So what makes it less controversial to push for a more aggressive security agenda now? Let's go back to Japan's westernmost islands to find out. Right near Yonaguni are these uninhabited islands. They're basically rocks in the ocean, but they're contested. Japan administers them, but both China and Taiwan have historical claims to them. And they all have their own names for the islands. There are ongoing tensions between China and Japan here. In 2010, a Chinese fishing boat rammed a Japanese patrol ship, and it turned into a row between the countries.
That was the first time that defense planners had to contend with the idea that maybe China and Japan would find themselves at odds.
And there's Taiwan, which China sees as its...
Okay, I'm done with that. I just wanted to get myself up to speed on a few things. Hold on a second. Gene Richmond, are you calling in? Number 9, I got your text message. Gene Richmond, yes, no? Thank you, Deeds. I got your message. Hold on, guys. I'm checking with regards to the members. We are letting people call in and be in the live chat today who are not members, but members are still the priority. There he is, Rory tapping in.
Yo.
Tuesday afternoon.
Tuesday afternoon, rated PG.
Hey.
Right, the show's PG today.
PG in the afternoon. How are you, man? Good to hear from you. What's cracking?
I'm chilling. I just came back home. Man, it's nice out there today. Yeah, I wanted to call it, say, my dad was a YN.
Okay.
You know? Yeah. My dad was a YN. He grew up in the Bronx, in South Bronx, on Cypress Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
He was in a gang, the Cypress Lords. He got shot. Him and his brother got shot. He was 14. His brother was 15 or 16. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a real YN. And he went to Rice High School, on 125th in Harlem.
Okay.
And he said back in those days there was a lot of racism. He graduated in 69, so he was going to high school in 68.
Okay.
And yeah, he said him and his friends used to have a lot of problems with the Black Panthers when they got off the train and would walk down to high school. They would, be talking ish towards them. What you doing over here, white boy? What you white boys doing over here? Blah blah blah. Right. All of that. So he was never scared. He'll put hands and feet on a black dude, no problem. He's the one that taught me and my brother how to fight and not be scared of none of them outside. And he got drafted to Vietnam right out of high school. He got drafted to Vietnam and he got shot again. And then he got an infection in his foot over when he was in the jungle, and they sent him home. So he didn't have to do the whole tour.
So he got a check or still gets a check.
Hell yeah, he got a check.
My father's getting checks from the Navy.
Yeah. My dad had too. Yeah, my dad too. He's still alive. I actually just took him out for his birthday.
Okay.
2 weeks ago. He's 77.
Nice.
And we were drinking pints of Guinness, listening to Irish music, chilling. My dad's still good to go. He beat cancer a couple of years ago.
Salute.
He had so he's in remission. So he's chilling. He smokes weed, drinks, all of that. So he's still,
Let me ask you a question, Rory. If we can, I don't want to. You don't have to put too much business out there of your father's. My father. What first made me question him because I was, I liked him. Aside from loving him, I liked him, and he was very Southern. I was raised in the North, so I noticed the differences in the food that he cooked in the house, great cook, and the way that he spoke and things like that. But he joined the Navy when he was a preteen. And I always said, hey, why'd you join the Navy at such an early age during World War II? And he always used to say, that ain't your business. When I reached hang on. When I reached about 11 years old, I asked him again because I heard him talking to somebody from North Carolina about a police officer being killed decades ago when he lived there. And I said, hey, did you know anything about that? And he said, going outside and play with your little crack of toys, boy. That ain't your business. Said it again. So when I say a YN, I'm also talking about rebellious, having done something that, he evolved from your father, my father, and people's fathers who are watching, but we don't necessarily own up to. Does that sound about right? We don't necessarily admit to.
Yeah, he would tell me about, or me and my brother, how he was in the street, because I don't know. I just don't think he wanted to like give us that kind of like reputation or what, like he didn't want us to. My uncles told us like what he was like and what went down. My dad didn't talk about the street life too much.
Right.
He does. Like when we're older, he don't care. He'll tell everything. But when we were kids growing up, no, he tried to portray like he was just a soldier, a good guy.
Right,
he was a pretty good guy. He wasn't,
Yeah.
So yeah, and the other thing I want to say, the Gatling gun, Yo, that was the original white man's act right when he came over here. That's a fact. That's the original white man's act right. That's a whole fact. And so much so that they brought it over to South Africa and took out Shaka Zulu and the whole Zulu nation over there. That was the Gatling gun they brought over there. So yeah, it was a great weapon of war invention. You could take out the Indians with their bows and arrows sitting up in a tree. You could take them out from half a mile away. All of them, drop it out of the trees like they're dead birds and stuff. So yeah, the Gatling gun definitely a famous American invention. And the original act right for the black, brown, and indigenous.
Well, I was more so bringing it up. We were having a conversation. I forget about what the other day with regards to Native Americans, because they get this reputation for being so spiritual and natural, and but they were those tribes, Native Americans, indigenous, Indian, whatever you want to call them, were warring with each other. So we used to sell them. We Americans used to sell them rifles so that they could kill each other off. So it wasn't just like we went head up against them and slaughtered them. No, we were assisting them kill each other. They had wars for hundreds, if not thousands, of years. Go ahead.
Yeah, but on top of that, most of them were inbred. So they weren't like intelligent people. All this stuff about the Native Americans it's all a Hollywood thing. They try to make them like, something that they weren't. Like they were some sort of advanced culture of people that love nature and love the animals and all that. None of that is true. I mean, if you go to an Indian reservation, it's garbage and dirt everywhere. Trailers, they don't care about polluting the land, polluting the rivers. They all high, they all drunk. None of them go to school, so, and they still have inbred in their community like crazy.
Well, listen, I don't want to go too far in that direction. I just wanted to, let you discuss the Gatling
you
gun.
can tell by their haircuts. Okay. The haircuts they used to use, that's like something a retard would cut their hair like that.
All right, easy. Okay, well, listen, before you go, do you care about Kevin Hart extending an olive branch to Katt Williams? I played a video earlier. I think it's worth talking about. Yes, Kevin Hart, Katt Williams.
I like Katt Williams. I'm not a fan of Kevin Hart. I don't find him funny at all. Okay. Most of the time, I just see him giggling like a little kid, sitting in the corner, giggling, holding his stomach. Yeah, but I did see, real quick, Floyd Mayweather was suing somebody, right, for $100 million. And when it came to the time to do the discovery, and he would have to put up his finances and how much he owes in back taxes, all of a sudden he withdrew the lawsuit. Yeah. So I think there's some.
Send me a link. I don't want to focus on Floyd right now, but great to talk to you, man. Salute.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon.
So, okay. All right. Rory tapping in. All right. Thank you for becoming new members. This has been a research show here. I got a few more things I want to address and my sponsors as well. Please take note to my sponsors on the showrunners. And guys, if you want to be a sponsor, reach out via email. We always send you analytics. so you can see what goes on behind the scenes here. Reach out via email, okay? Blade, what's going on, man? I got your donation. Okay, wait a minute. Blade, it's early afternoon. I don't want to play like too many videos with oh man, hold on a second. People getting shot and yeah. Thanks, Blade, but I want to keep the show PG-13 right now. Anthony, isn't that an old video where the guy yeah, that's 2 weeks ago. The guy bit the dog. The dog was biting him. He then bit the dog. Unless you guys want to see that video. Anybody care? 2 weeks ago, a Sheffield man charged after resisting arrest, biting police canine. Anybody care? Tony Touch says, yes, play it. Okay. 2 weeks ago, you bit the dog back. Here we go.
46-year-old David Culliver interfered with the execution of a search warrant, refused to leave, and then ended up under arrest. Florence police released body camera video as well from multiple angles after social media videos made the rounds online first and raised a lot of questions. This is where the execution of a routine search warrant became nothing near routine.
Florence police released body camera footage from 3 different angles of what happened Wednesday evening on North Locust Street. The Lauderdale County Drug Task Force, made up of SWAT and a canine unit, are on the scene, executing a search warrant. That's when police say David Culliver showed up uninvited.
Get out of the road. My name's David Culliver. Get out of the road.
Police say Culliver was not part of the investigation, but he stepped into the road, disrupted traffic, and confronted the officers anyway.
Get out of the road.
Police say when he ignored repeated warnings to move back, they moved in for an arrest when this happened.
Watch him. He'll get bit. Quit fighting. Quit fighting. Quit fighting.
Culliver is seen grabbing the dog's leg and then biting the canine back. Officers say they struck Culliver to get him to release the dog. He was then taken to the ground and handcuffed. Culliver was treated at the hospital for a bite wound and then booked into the Lauderdale County Jail. He's charged with resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, public intoxication, and interfering with a police dog.
Now, Florence police released the full body camera footage, saying shortened clips circulating on social media did not tell the full story. A link to that entire footage is on our website at WAFF.com right now.
Anybody from Baltimore? Even though I don't have kids or grandkids, well, I mean, I have some kids that, by way of my dating relationships that, in the past, I stay in contact with the kids, but I found this to be a little bit concerning. Just concerning, okay? Here we go.
When a student graduates in Baltimore City Public Schools, they have the education they need to be successful. One father says his honor students was woefully unprepared. As Project Baltimore's Chris Papps explains, Maryland has changed high school graduation requirements to help students, but some say we're setting them up for failure.
Graduation day.
It's a proud day.
For Desmond Stinney's youngest daughter.
Today's a big day.
One certainly filled with pride, but also worry.
I just kind of want to get through it.
You see, 3 years ago, in 2020, Stinney celebrated the high school graduation of his oldest daughter, Xaviera.
Our prize cadet here. We're so proud of her.
An honor student, soccer star, and graduate of Baltimore Polytechnic Institute.
She's accomplishing so much more than her old man at such a young age.
Xaviera didn't just graduate from any city high school. She went to one of the best. In 2020, Poly had a graduation rate greater than 95%, one of the highest in Maryland. 77% of students tested scored proficient in English that year. 54% scored proficient in math. Both the best scores in the city.
Did you think she was prepared to go to a military academy?
Absolutely. There was no indication that she wasn't.
But soon after graduation, this father watched his daughter's bright future nearly fall apart. Xaviera enrolled as a cadet into one of the United States military academies. But Stinney says when she got there, she quickly fell behind and was placed on academic probation. She was in danger of failing out of college.
That was the moment we realized that the foundation wasn't built at all. And we had a very false sense of superiority having the grades that we had.
Stinney says the academy had to create a special math remediation course to help his daughter stay in school.
We never thought basic math would be the stress in her life for those 16 months that she was on academic probation.
Xaviera is now off academic probation and is doing well. But Stinney worries about...
What the hell is academic probation? I've never heard of that. Is that a new term, or is that just something that came along after I dropped out?
About the other students, including his younger daughter.
We can see the finish line.
Especially after he learned Maryland has changed its graduation requirements, a change he fears could result in more graduates not being prepared.
I think that's counterproductive. I think if we lower our standards, I think that's at the detriment of the children.
In 2019, the year prior to the pandemic, to receive a high school diploma, Maryland students had 3 graduation requirements: earn 21 credits, complete 75 service hours, and pass state assessments in the 4 main subjects. From 2020 to 2023, students no longer had to pass state assessments to graduate. They just needed to take them. And next year, new standards take effect again. For a majority of the class of 2024, Maryland students will only have 2 requirements to graduate: 21 credits and 75 service hours. State assessments will now count for 20% of their final grade for that subject, meaning students won't have to pass the state test to graduate. In 2025, the state is expected to change requirements again. Most graduating seniors will likely need 22 credits to graduate. But again, state assessments will only count for 20% of the final grade.
Do you think this is lowering the standards?
Well, anytime you got to do less to get to the same result, I think you're taking a hit on your standards.
The Maryland State Department of Education will not interview with Project Baltimore, but told us in a statement the change was made because high-stakes exit exams disproportionately and negatively impact minority and economically disadvantaged students, reducing their likelihood of graduating from high school.
I think we're setting them up to fail.
But graduation rates will probably go up because there's fewer requirements to graduate.
Mm-hmm. And we talked about that false sense of superiority. We thought we were ready. And then when it became game time against higher level competition, we weren't ready.
I'm Chris Pabst, and this is Project Baltimore.
We are looking ahead to next week as the Maryland NAACP is demanding changes to education. The civil rights group is meeting this week about the, quote, critical status of African-American students. The group points to lagging academic achievement and students graduating without necessary proficiency. In Maryland, 2 of the lowest performing school systems are in Baltimore City and Prince George's County, which have the most African-American students.
Hey there, good afternoon. Please watch the language. Area code 718. Are you there? 718.
Star.
Hey.
No, that's 301.
Oh, hey, how are you, sir? Good afternoon. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, what's good, Star? This is crucial, man. Thank you for doing the show. I grew up in that county, PG County, right?
Okay.
One of the things in Maryland, right? One of the things that the county is known for is the affluency or the wealth of the particular black race in that county, right? So saying that to say my parents had money. My friends' parents had money. You know, I grew up in the house. You were the same age as my older sister.
Okay.
When you all came through, you know, there were exams. And when I came through, there were final exams, talking about the education and everything, right? And they were stressful. They were extremely stressful. I remember everyone having to cram for the final. You know, do some last minute studying and whatnot. And they were extremely stressful. We also came up through the Scantron testing, you know, where you had to fill in A, B, C, or D. And you had,
with the number 2 pencils.
Yeah, you didn't use the number 2, you would automatically fail because the computer wouldn't read it right and all that.
Right.
Yeah, those were stressful, you know. So and I've also been an educator, special education student.
Sir, your phone's going in and out. Can you make the adjustment so we can hear you? Your phone's going in and out.
I need to stop walking around. I'm walking around in a bad area.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, part itself. So the thing is, like being in education, you know, reading what that said, like the reason why I called in, because I'm like, man, you know what? I do remember how I felt for those exams, and I would have liked it to been 20%. My final to only count for 20%. However, one of the things that students often say is, or people often say is, what are you going to use, or how am I going to use this subject when I get out of high school? Right. So they had Algebra 1, they had government, they had life science, and there was one other one up there, English 10, like 10th grade English.
Okay.
You know, and so some of the things, I was thinking about it yesterday. British literature was one of the things I had to take, one of the English classes. British.
Right.
Meaning not here, Britain. Right. And I haven't necessarily used that. Shakespeare, Macbeth, you know, some of those stories, mythology, right? I haven't necessarily used those directly out of high school. Math, yes. It all depends on what field of work you decide to go in. I mean, you know, learning about algorithms, you may be a YouTuber.
Right.
Algorithm is a math formula.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so it applies. It all depends. Everybody, not everybody, but those people that drive, they have to get a license. You have a social security card. You ever get a traffic ticket, you have to go to what? The government building, which is what? The court building.
Right.
So government is one of those that does apply. It can be used, right? But
well, let me jump in for a second. Again, I mean, I try to keep up on some of this stuff because it's fascinating to me, even though, again, I don't have kids in school and I don't deal with them or any kids on a daily basis like that. But the process of learning, you know, is it's different now. So I just it's not that I'm condemning it, but I think that they have changed the way that they teach so much to the point where you can't look at a child, in my opinion, as being some type of expert. No, I have to mold you so that you in my opinion, so that you understand not just what you're comprehending, but the process of learning. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. It matters because, I mean, something as simple as being a cashier,
right,
you know, out of high school, some people don't want to do because what? And I've had people say it, oh, no, I don't want to deal with the counting of the money.
Right.
You know, and I think it's simple. You probably think it's simple also. I mean, you have to pay for stuff, so you got to get your money back. You're going to have to count how much they give you back. Like, so it applies, right? And if you reduce the percentage of the final exams, that's just one part of it, right? But you reduce it down to 20%. So there are some things that you won't have to comprehend. You just have to take it. They said you just have to take the test. I didn't know it was just take it. I mean, you just got to show up, put your name on it, fill in the bubbles, you know what I mean? Write some type of answer. You don't have to pass. So then you don't know whether what you learned in class or not actually was retained. And then can you regurgitate it? I mean, that's part of what school is. Somebody teaching you something and you regurgitate what they taught you.
Right.
But the process, what you're talking about, applies in all walks of life. Buying a vehicle, buying a home, applying for a job, right? Setting up your YouTube channel, or just subscribing to the app. Psych, made you look over there, let me get your neck.
Right.
All these are kids play things. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with 6, 7. You know, you take it and then once it's...
I hope you're right. But you see the difference now, difference now is that, you know, on social media, they have no parameters. So these, what we think are just new trends, can be some type of code words for some type of destructive trend. But I appreciate the call, man. Salute.
Peace. Peace.
Okay.